Hello, and welcome to this podcast episode. We're going to talk about Bright Size Life by Pat Metheny, and we're going to focus on the intervals within the melody. This was requested during the live stream talk this past Sunday. So we're going to discuss and get into it a little bit. The melody of the tune starts out with these intervals here, and we have intervals of perfect fifths. So there's a perfect fifth from F sharp to C sharp, perfect fifth from B to C sharp, perfect fifth from E to B, and then A downward to D, also a perfect fifth. It's also worth noticing where the strong beats are and taking a look at the intervals between those. So if you were to take a look at every other note here, so this would be beat 1 and beat 2 and beat 3 and beat 4, right? We have these stacked fourths, and that gives us every other note. So in a sense, the way it might feel, and you might perceive it this way, is that we get okay, so I'm going and number and number and number. So you might give some significance to those stacked fourths there, and maybe even play them as a chord. So try to draw some insights from that, not only the individual intervals, but also take a look at strong beats and weak beats and try to divide those up. Oftentimes, melodies have stepwise motion, at least some, and oftentimes a large percentage of stepwise motion, half steps and whole steps. This next segment of the tune follows that pretty well there. So we have a B, A, G, F sharp. Okay, so that's all stepwise motion. So we have diatonic motion there between, for the B all the way down to the F sharp, and then it kind of tends to want to go to E, although we have this repeated triplet here, and then E. But if you create a summation of that, we're really kind of going down stepwise, a little pause on this with those triplets and that motion, and then settles in on the E. We get a little more stepwise motion here. But we finish off with a major third right there. So we have the G, half step, whole step, and then going down a major third. It feels very settled there. Okay, and then we get into some more stepwise motion here. But we can stack sixths on this. So we can play something like this. The second time through the A section, we end on these tones, B, B, A, G, A, F sharp. Okay, so again, stepwise motion here, and then we're going down a minor third. Okay, this one you can also stack with sixths intervals. Okay, now we get into the bridge and we get some more of those larger intervals like we had in the very beginning, although these intervals will be a little bit different, but they are larger intervals than the whole steps and the half steps. So we're going to start with C sharp, and we go to D. Okay, so that's a major seventh. Now in the original recording, the next note he plays F sharp. I believe more contemporarily he's been playing a G on this tone, but go back and check and let me know. But let's stick with what you might see in the real book here. So F sharp to G. So that would be another major seven. Okay. And again, might be worth stacking some of these tones. So we talked about stacking every other note on the at the beginning, getting more like a chordal harmony thing. And on this part, you might stack it and play a chord out of it just to kind of get that into your ear. And then we end up going up to E. All right, and we get more stepwise motion. Here we start on the same note, but we have that C natural in there. Okay, so we have a good bit of stepwise motion. We have a third mixed in there and then a fourth. So the last couple of notes, minor third and then perfect fourth. Carrying on, we have another major seven, and then another major seven, but this time we're a little bit lower on our starting note, or a half step lower. Again, you might try to stack this in order because he's skipping around. Try to play around with it in sequence of low to high as well, just to kind of get the chord in your ear. Okay, we get back to the C sharp. Okay, and more stepwise motion. Then we have minor third. Okay, we'll go up a perfect fifth. And then we land on the tonic note, which is a whole step below the previous here. So E to D. Then we go through the A section again, same intervals, except the last two measures are a little bit different. We have stacked here, minor third, go down, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, and then he plays a minor second there, which is, pretty dissonant. So in this tune, study the intervals that go in sequence, through the beats. Maybe do a little focus on strong beats. And then also work with the notes that are stacked. Some of them are sixths, others are thirds, others are seconds. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. There is a video edition of this available on the YouTube channel for members of Lessons and Talks. So check that out if you're interested in supporting the channel and checking out some of the visuals. But I always try to keep this audio only friendly and an opportunity for ear training. Have a great practice session. I'll see you in the next one.